Sophie, we have made it to the Euro 2024 knockout stages. This is where things really get interesting.
It is, and as much as I love it, I do miss the group stages, the games every day. I'm going to miss that.
Yeah, honestly, I think the group stages were really good. There were some high-scoring games, there were some low-scoring games, there were some crazy results, some upsets, and now we've made it to the knockout stages, and there's some big games to predict. So there's 8 round of 16 games split over 4 days. We're going to do 4 of the games today, so day 14 and 15 of the Euros, and tomorrow we're going to have the second half of the round of 16 games. Plenty of big games coming up. Before we get into this video, let's go for 2,200 likes, and we should be able to do that. It's the knockout stages. This is interesting. Hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe as well. If you haven't already, make sure to get involved, but I'm sure most of you have because you're all legends. Let's get into the predictions, Sophie, and we start with Switzerland versus Italy. And I tell you what, anyone could win this.
Yeah, it's 2 teams that aren't miles apart, to be honest. I do think these kind of later stages, Italy, I have a little bit more faith in them just managing to grind out a result and progress on, but Switzerland have had a very good competition so far.
Absolutely. On paper, most people might think Italy should win, but yeah, I was probably slightly more impressed by Switzerland in the group stages. They were very good against Hungary, they were okay against Scotland, but then they were very good against Germany and nearly won the group. You know, it was a last-minute German goal.
Yeah.
As for Italy, they of course beat Albania, then they lost to Spain, and then they just about got that draw with Croatia, which has sent them through, but they left it late. And I do think Italy, if they're going to win this competition again, they do need to improve a bit, but they are a team that can grow into a tournament.
Not just that as well, they just grow into a game. They just seem to have that air about them that think, okay, yeah, we're losing or yeah, we're drawing at the minute, but we will have something about us to get the win. And they did it against Croatia, which was absolutely heartbreaking in the last minute. But it was a great goal and they, in the end, deserved it. Yeah,
in the end, they got through, and what a goal it was.
It was a very, very good finish. When the pressure is on as well, you think this is probably like the last chance of the game to whip it in like that. Great goal.
Unbelievable. So let's do a prediction. I think if Italy get through, they're going to scrape through. I think Switzerland are going to give them a really difficult game. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. Italy are going to win on penalties. I think this is going to go all the way to penalties, and Italy are just going to win.
God, they'll be cream crackered by the end of that. I don't know whether to say 0-0 and then Italy snatch a 1-0 in extra time, or no, I'm going to give Switzerland a goal. I'm going to say 1-1, but then Italy do it final minutes of extra time and they sneak a goal, 2-1.
2-1 Italy?
Yeah.
In extra time?
Yeah, I think it'll be done before penalties, this one.
Oh, wow. There you go, guys. We are both backing Italy to scrape through. We think it's going to be difficult for them, but we do think they will get past Switzerland. Share your predictions on that game. On to the next one, Sophie, and it's the hosts, Germany, taking on Denmark. Both teams are undefeated so far. Denmark got through the same group as England with 3 draws.
I mean, there's not a great deal to say about that. I mean, 3 draws, yeah, you've not lost, but you've not done anything too impressive either. I think overall they've been okay. Yeah. I don't think we've seen the best of them, to be honest, Denmark.
Maybe
equally,
not.
I don't think we've seen the best of Germany yet either.
No, I think I agree with that. I think Germany were very good against Scotland. You know, they just absolutely smashed them. They were pretty comfortable against Hungary, but against Switzerland they weren't at their best. But I wonder if they can, you know, get back to their best in the knockout stages. And being the hosts, that can make a massive difference. Yeah. I always think Denmark are a bit of a dark horse, though. I think they are capable of giving Germany a good game. What we've learnt from the group stages is they can make any game tight, especially against England. You know, they could have beat us.
Yeah, and at points you felt like, no, they deserved to beat us, and that's why you think 3 draws, from some of the performances they put in, it's not a great return.
No, maybe they could have won a game.
Yeah.
Can they win this game? Possibly. But I'm going to go for Germany, just 2-1 to Germany.
So I'm going to say 1-0 Germany. I think this can be very, very cagey. And what I will say about Denmark is they've shown that in the group stages they are able to make it really, really difficult for teams to break them down. And I think Germany, for the most part, will struggle, but they have got that class and that quality for me to just be able to break through, but only once in my eyes. So I'm going to say 1-0.
1-0 Germany, yeah. So we both think they'll just do it, but once again, a bit like Switzerland, I could see Denmark getting through.
Yeah, I mean, most
of
the teams that go through, you think, well, you can't actually count them out. Everyone's got there on their own accord, and rightly so, but yeah, obviously there's going to be favourites in some games where you're going to lean towards them, and we've both done that, but as you say, you can't count the other teams out. Yeah,
I think one of the big surprises from this Euros has been how many of the so-called big teams have struggled to shake off the not-so-good teams, because they've all been really close games.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, let's go to England versus Slovakia. Sophie, England won our group with 5 points, 2 goals scored. It was hardly scintillating, and I don't think I've ever seen a situation where a team has topped their group and the picture in the background is so negative. I mean, everyone is feeling frustrated, and I agree. The football's not been good enough. If we play like we have done so far in the knockout stages, we probably won't go far. So we do know we've got a few gears that we can climb. We need to make sure we do that, because Slovakia are not going to be a pushover for England.
No, they're not going to be at all. They've got a very, very good goalkeeper, and what we've not been doing is scoring much at all. So coming up against a good goalkeeper, I don't think there's going to be many goals in this one at all. Yeah, it's not been great watching England. It's been almost depressing at times. Like, you get so distracted. I'll sit there on my phone for half a game, and then I'll look up, oh, right, still 0-0. And it's just that boring that I'm getting so disinterested in the games. We had plans to go out to watch the England game, and we decided, no, we're going to stay in and watch it instead. It's that poor.
Yeah.
But what I don't agree with, what I heard, is that people were apparently throwing things at Gareth Southgate after the game, and that's not on at all. Yes, you can be annoyed at the manager. He's not making the right changes, the right decisions, but yeah, that's just way too far for me.
Yeah, I hate that kind of thing. I understand why a lot of people are not a massive fan of Southgate, but don't throw things at him, come on. It could have been more difficult, I guess, for England. We could have got the Netherlands, but I could live to regret saying that, because Slovakia, as I said, they could beat us.
Genuinely.
I think England will just do it, and I mean just. I think Slovakia are going to play like it's their cup final, and England maybe not play at their best again. 1-0 England, and honestly, I think you said this before, the weird thing is, coming into this tournament, I was worried about the defence.
Yeah.
The defence has been fine. It's the goal scoring that I'm worried about.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, what I'm hoping though is that Gareth has learned something from like the latter stages against Slovenia, when he brought on a couple of players that he hadn't played yet. We looked much better going forwards. So I'm hoping that he'll either start them or bring them on a lot sooner, so they've got more time to impact the game. So I think I'm going to agree with your scoreline, but I wouldn't even be surprised. Oh no, I'm going to basically say 2 predictions here, but I'm going to say 1-0 in either 90 minutes or extra time.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah. I see it being a really narrow one. Equally, I wouldn't be surprised if Slovakia beat us. I just think, you know what, it's been a poor competition, fair play to them. But I'm hoping that we will find our second gear and we will just sneak past them.
Yeah.
So yeah, 1-0. I don't know if that's in 90 or 120.
Absolutely. And if England can find a performance where it makes the whole nation believe, oh, hang on a minute, we can play good football, we can win this tournament, then it is still possible. We're through, we've got Slovakia, and we're on the slightly easier side of the draw as well.
Thank God, yeah.
On to the final game in today's video. It's Spain versus Georgia. Spain, Sophie, have probably been one of the most impressive teams so far.
I'd agree.
They won the group of death quite comfortably, but they take on Georgia, who have been a real surprise. Fair play to them. They beat Portugal 2-0, and the keeper, Mamadashvili, was unbelievable.
Yeah, he had the game of his career, honestly. That was such a good game for him. And they've got the leading goal scorer at the moment, which
unbelievable.
Is crazy.
I would love to see Georgia win this. It would be so historic. It would be amazing. It would be an underdog story. And they might be in the game. And I think they will make it difficult for Spain, but I just think Spain have looked very, very sharp so far, and I think they'll just find a way to shake Georgia off. I'm going to go Spain 1-0, but I can see the goalkeeper for Georgia keeping them in the game.
Yeah, so as I said, I think in a couple of videos ago, I massively underestimated Georgia in this competition. I didn't think they'd put in many good displays at all. So probably before the competition began, if I'd seen these two at this point, I'd be like, oh, Spain 3-0, this is a nice tasty game. I'm massively backpedaling now after watching Georgia. They play some really good football. As you said, their keeper, if he can put in another good performance, why can't they get something from this game? I'm not gonna have them to go through though. I can't not back Spain just because of how good they are and how good their squad is. Yeah. So for me, it's gonna be Spain 2-1.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think there's gonna be massive amounts separating the two, but Spain do have more quality.
You just think they should do it. They should. Yeah. So then, guys, there you go. Share your predictions for the first 4 games of the round of 16 knockout games in Euro 2024. As I said, we will be back tomorrow for 4 more big games, including France versus Belgium as well. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe. It's definitely worth getting involved. Thank you for joining me, Sophie.
Thank you.
We will see you in the next one. Peace out.